Thank you very much for having me here today. I'm very glad to be able to say a few words on My Country Talks, which is a platform that brings together people um, in a face-to-face, one-on-one discussion to talk about controversial political issues. So we, as My Country Talks, our way to discuss politics in a new way. And why do we do that? Because we want to overcome political polarization through meaningful participation. And how did this all came about? How did it start? Back in 2016, with the impression of having Trump elected as president and the Brexit referendum happening, we ourselves in the newsroom of Zeit Online were asking ourselves, how can we actually restart the conversation between different political divides, and how can we kind of make sure that we find a common ground, that we find consensus, which is the very basic for the functioning of a democratic society. People started talking about how would it be to put, for instance, a green voter together in a face-on-face discussion with someone from the AfD, which is the right populist party back in Germany. And out of that came the development of a software, which is the basis of My Country Talks. And this software matches people based off of the answer of political questions. So how do we basically reach participants who take part and then meet a political stranger, so to say? Where we ask our media partners to embed controversial questions into their online articles, which then triggers signups and kind of leads them to have a conversation with someone that completely differs from them in a political sense. So our algorithm matches participants based on their answers. And the more differences they have, the better the match. And then they have a political conversation on one day, all together at the same time. So that's just a small example to see how it actually works. So this is an example where our embed was introduced into an article. So you see, which candidates did you vote for in the 2020 presidential election? That's actually an example from one of our American media partners that did do a pilot on America Talks back in January. And people are kind of triggered because they think, well, I have an opinion on that, and that's a controversial question, and I want to have a discussion with someone on it. So while answering the first question, they'll get kind of redirected to a whole questionnaire. Once they've answered all those questions, they kind of get to the sign up flow and basically decide to take part in a My Country Talks event. I mean, as I said, it all started back in Germany. We did do Germany Talks in 2017 for the first time, but then it expanded to a lot of different countries. So we did have My Country Talks events in more than 30 countries. There were more than 150,000 participants taking part, and over 40,000 conversations that took place. Here's a small outline of events that took place, mainly in Europe. Netherlands Talks is happening for the second time now. There's Germany Talks this year for the 5th time. We did have Britain Talks, Denmark Talks, and now I'm coming to the actual interesting thing. We did have Europe Talks for the 2nd time last year, and we're going to have it this year as well in December again. And how basically, this is just a few quotes of editors-in-chief that took part in national My Country Talks events. One is Martin Kotjek from the Standard in Austria, who basically gives a quote on why they participated. Same goes for an experience for Finland. Here's also a few thoughts on, basically the scientific side to it. So what is actually the advantage of having such face-to-face discussions. We did have a scientific evaluation of those conversations, and it's basically a very unique way to find common ground and to bridge the gap across political divides. It's actually one of the very unique and only ways to make sure people develop empathy for different political opinions, because we all know it's very hard to leave your own filter bubble. But if there is an opportunity to do so, it's basically only possible through actually meeting someone and having a personal conversation. I wanted to show you a short movie, which I'm going to do right at the end, just to mention a few thoughts on why Europe Talks is a great thing, and how we kind of experienced the collaboration with many different media partners from all over Europe. So last year we had actually 15 media partners from about 15 different countries joining. We did have partners from Romania, from Bulgaria, from France, from Britain, many different countries, and all of them were very engaged, super motivated to be able to bring people from different European countries into a conversation. And I think this is kind of, when thinking about a European public sphere or a pan-European media space, it's kind of the precondition that needs to be met to be able to establish common ground, or at least connection between different European citizens, to be able to, basically establish from a discussion further visions and ideas for a common European media space. And we did have an online event during our last Europe Talks event. We did have to do it due to Corona, obviously, but it was a very nice experience that we did this event on Hop-In, which is like this digital software basically to hold conferences. And there were about, I think, 1,000 people joining this online conference from all over Europe. And we had about 2,000 comments within 2 hours from participants taking part. And there was this huge energy and this engagement into building an alternative European Parliament. And you could see all those people writing their comments about how they wanted to improve the European Union and what alternative thoughts they had. And so you could really see it was a great room for exchange and for basically the sharing of ideas. And we think that it really does make a difference. And it's a very, as I said, kind of important step to take in order to be able to connect people. And I don't want to talk too long. I'm the last one. I know you've already heard so many things, a lot of input, but I wanted to show you one small video we did for our last Europe Talks event, and it's just a collection of short statements by our media partners and why they took part. And I think it's a very nice thing to see. So I'll show you. I'm not going to show everything because it's rather long and we don't have that much time. But wait a second.
Debates help us finding truth, and we as journalists are always in quest of it.
We are delighted by the fact that Europe Talks 2020 will make the Bulgarian perspective known to the rest of our diverse European family.
Espresso is joining Europe Talks for the first time this year, so that we can all know each other better. We believe that giving our readers the chance to have unfiltered conversations with citizens from other countries about important matters of today is a way of building a continent that is more prone to dialogue, with an input from Portugal.
Dear Europe Talks friends, I'm Robert Lupizzo and I'm the editor-in-chief of Caleuropeană.ro, the main EU and transatlantic affairs media platform in Romania. And it was our distinguished pleasure to be a part of this outstanding and very important project. Let's talk about Europe, not just in a beautiful project like this, but also every day. Let's talk about Europe and our common values. Thank you very much.
Hi, this is Georgia Sakula. I'm a reporter for the Efemerida to Syntacton from Greece. We're very happy to be part of Europe Talks for another year.
Hey everybody, we're the Volkskrant from the Netherlands. We are participating because we believe in the power of communication, and we hope you will have better luck in finding common ground than Boris and Ursula did.
Hello from Rome. I'm Beniamino Pagliaro. I'm one of the editors at La Repubblica. Here we are in the main newsroom in Rome. I really think that being able to talk with each other is crucial to the quality of our democracy. So journalists should work with this goal in mind to provide news and context. Europe Talks is a great opportunity for us and our readers. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.